we go. So you had come back from Oat Barton. You had brought the Bull Roar Club. It looks like Balin was hanging out, who's the dwarf as well, with Bilbo, and Paladin and Lobelia have been attending some family business, and Lobelia is just sort of running around the Shire right now, so she may pop in and out. So as each of you are sitting outside around Bilbo's farm table, sharing food and stories around supper time, a flash and explosion is heard off in the distance. Did you see that? Bilbo burst with judgment and excitement. Then another boom and a dazzling display of colors lit the sky off in the distance, leaving tendrils of smoke in the evening sky. They were far away, and it looked like maybe they were coming from Yale. Bilbo stood straight up and threw his napkin on the table. His eyes narrowed and he snapped his fingers. Those have to be Gandalf's fireworks. He has no reason to be here now. What the devil? Ah, yes. He had stored some of them. Bilbo searched around him looking for words. Boffin, no Boffin. Bracegirdle, Lobelia's own mother. Yes, right. She married and then left Hardbottle and moved back to Yale. What in blazes are they doing with those fireworks? Bilbo smiled and got a spark in his eye. Well, my fine friends, we must investigate. Fireworks are dangerous and can cause injury or fires. They're for wizard and not us hobbits.
I didn't even know. I'm sorry. I brought this up and we're here.
I think it's time to head towards the Yale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the morning, hobbits gather their walking sticks and supplies and move on to the road towards Yale. So before you leave, we've got a couple of things here. We have axes and bows and daggers. You're ruffling through his box of goodies. There's helmets, leather corselets, leather shirts, shields, short spears, and swords. I can go through all of this as well. But if you have any, is there anything that you're interested in as you're digging through his crate of goodies?
Yeah, I need a sword and I need a helmet, a helm.
Okay, he
And
has.
maybe do we have what's it called, like the chest armor?
Let's go with sword first. So the sword can do 4 damage, so that will lower a monster's endurance of some kind, right? It has a injury score of 16, which is a little confusing right now, but that's, we'll get into that when we hit there. The load is only a 2. So remember that load's going to affect your endurance eventually.
Okay, let me write this down. So that would be under war gear, yeah? Like on this, like.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you've got a sword. What was the other thing you were interested in?
A helmet.
A helm. Okay, so the helm has a load of
Helmet.
4. Yeah,
Oh.
helmet. Yeah, it's like a
Oh.
he's got these old, I think you see Frodo play
Medieval.
around with one in The Hobbit, at the intro to The Hobbit. He's playing around with
There's a
like
gnome nose.
yeah,
Okay, guard. That's the difference between a helmet and a helm. It's the
so
nose guard.
the helm is worn in battle for ceremonial purposes. Helms are usually made of leather or iron, but sometimes of more precious metals. The shape of a helm or its decoration is often distinctive as it helps identify the wearer of the folk. More often than not, the protective features of a helm, especially nose guards, you're right, Aurora, are close-fitted cheek guards, obscure the face, and make it impossible to recognize the wearer otherwise. Helm is going to be a load of 4, and it will give you a 6-sided dice for protection.
Okay. And then do we have any chest armor?
I would say the closest thing that we have to chest armor is we go through the box would be a leather corselet and a leather shirt. Now the corselet is going to be a little bit longer, like a tunic almost, but it's leather. Its load is going to be 6, but it'll give you 2 6-sided dice.
Okay.
The leather shirt has a load of 3, and it'll give you a 1 6-sided dice.
I'll do the shirt.
Okay. Belby,
And you said it was
get in here.
1 6-sided dice?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do the corset thing. I think she had that last time maybe, or somebody did, and then I have. You can borrow
I'll
you
read
can
off
borrow
what's
my
left.
shirt.
I'll read off what's left here. Now remember to look at the bottom of your sheet there because it'll show you some of the dice that you get already when you're looking at
The
your
shirt gets
weapons.
a +1.
You already have it. You already have a +1 with the.
No, last time I used the shirt.
Oh.
Now that we're starting over, so I just wanted Mackenzie to know that I noticed that I put a +1 dice. So that's a dope selection that you picked.
Yeah, so what's left in the box for everybody to discuss is we have a dagger, a bow, an axe, a spear, a short spear, a shield, and a leather corselet.
I think I'm down with the bow,
Okay.
if I'm allowed to have that.
Yeah, the bow will give 3 damage.
Yeah.
The injury
-2
score,
low.
the injury is a 14, and we'll talk about that when that comes up, but just make a note of that. And then the load is 2.
Okay. Great. So then the next thing would be, I mean, sorry, does the corselet have a dice?
Yeah, you get 2 6-sided dice. The load is 6.
Awesome. And then 2 6-sided dice. All right, so I get 2 6-sided dice extra.
And that will help against not necessarily taking damage, but it helps against wounds. So when a monster has a extremely successful roll and they do something which is known as a piercing blow or a very successful roll, then you would be able to use that corselet to say, hey, you might take damage, but you're not going to get wounded if you're able to pass that injury score. So you get those extra dice to pass that.
Do you have anything that's so the dagger is cool because it also has a load of 0, right? So
Dagger has a load of 0. It gives 2 damage, and the injury on that's 14.
okay. So I'd like to have those back, and then I can let go of the other things right now because.
So you want the bow, the dagger, and the leather corselet?
That sounds good to me.
Can I ask the helm? It was a load of 4 and protection. It was just one extra dice, right?
Yep.
I'm actually going to get rid of the helm.
Okay, get rid of the helm.
Sorry. Yeah.
I love this. I can just picture you guys going through, going, oh, I want this, I want that, and then like, wait a second, I don't want that's too heavy.
I'm
like,
racing.
we can. So the corselet one more time. Sorry, what was the load of that?
6.
6.
And then you'll get 2 of the dice with that one. Under protection, it would be 2.
And then, what is the next thing?
So I have it. Aurora, I hope I'm not going to mess with what you're doing in your calculations, but I have a question about the sword, Matthew.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I got the sword. The damage is 4, injury is 16, load is 2. But on my sheet, sword has 3 extra little doopies by it.
Yep.
3 check marks by it.
So,
so how would that work?
So you get to roll 3 dice, 3 6-sided dice, and a feature dice with that.
Okay, so like a 12-sided and then 3 6-sided.
Yep. And then that gives you a pretty good chance of doing some damage.
I hope
and then
so.
what happens is if you do a really extremely successful type of roll where you get a Gandalf rune or you get a 10, or you get one of the 6-sided dice gets you hit a number 6 if you get any of those types of things. And actually with this one, yeah, you do have Pierce. Then if you get any of those things, then you're doing more than damage to a monster. You're actually getting a chance to do a wound.
Okay.
And so they have to then beat 16, which is a pretty high number, right?
So if I am rolling a 12-sided and I get the eye or the thingy that looks like half a menorah, then I'll let you know and then you tell me what happens.
Yeah, if you get a 10 or if you get the Gandalf rune, or if one of your 6-sided dice gets a 6, then you've just done a really good thing and you let me know.
Okay, sounds good.
Oh my gosh, I thought I was on mute, but that's so funny.
Okay.
I don't know what it's called, but it looks like half menorah.
There's a name
I
where it's
wish
like
I would have thought of that. It's
I'm
so
gonna
true.
butcher the name. It's like it's a Tingrila or something like that. So I'll get the name for us so that I've read it a few times, just never said it out loud.
Okay.
Will of the West.
Okay, yeah, I call it the Will of the West or the Gandalf or the Ruin.
No, I'm just kidding. That is so rude. This is funny. Like if we met Elven kind, we would be like, English, please, not like
So we've got
you're so fancy over there.
Vermilia has a leather shirt and a sword.
I'm so not like that, by the
And
way. I love
Belba
language.
has a leather corselet, a dagger, and a bow. I will read off what's left in the box, and if all's good, we'll head out. There's still a shield left, a short spear, a spear, an axe, and a helm.
What's the load on the spear?
The
4
spear,
or no,
the spear
3.
load is 3, and the short spear load is 2.
It
Damage
says
is 4.
spears on my thing. So does it matter which spear if it says spears?
No.
How about I take a short spear?
Short spear. So its damage is 3. It can do piercing, which is good. And it has injury 4.
And the load is how much again? 3?
2.
What is my
Okay.
horn? I get the horn of battle just because.
So
This is my traveling gear. Do you have it on your sheet? Like there's a little like typed in spot where there's actually just permanent things you get?
Yeah.
Well, last game and the last game before I didn't get to. I was singing, but I should have just blown my horn.
7.
Some of those I'm still learning about too, so we will maybe cross those bridges when they come. So if everybody's all set, you head out of Hobbiton and off of Bilbo's step there. A hint of smoke is in the air, but not from chimneys. As Bilbo suspected, there must have been a fire from those fireworks. Because you saw that it was probably coming from somewhere over in the Yale, you head east on the east road several miles to Whitfurrows. And despite your stomach's grumbling, because it's probably second breakfast by the time you get there, you left off in the morning and now it's already a little bit definitely later in the morning. But you feel like, okay, we know where we're going, let's just get there. You drive your party on down south on Stock Road. So whereas before you kind of headed up north, now you're heading south. So you go south on Stock Road, a short trek of a few farms with houses rather than holes and some rocky outcrops. Stock Road ends at the woody end where it becomes apparent where the Boffin estate is. As you can see off to the eastern side of the road, a more developed stately house with several smaller
That's in the
farm
East
buildings.
Farthing, right?
And yes, I believe so. Yeah.
Farthing mid-page and then
kind of
down.
in the kind of the south part
Near the
of East
circle
Farthing.
of
Yeah.
the booklet, Buckberry on the map, but above. I'm following. Go ahead.
Yeah. Where if you find the 3 farthing stone and you
At
head
Woody
east, you head and then you head a little south. As the party there's you find the Boffin estate. As you can see off to the eastern side of the road, it's a more developed stately house with several smaller farm buildings and the smell of wheat and barley in the air from the fields. As you walk up along the path to the main home, it is hard not to notice large scorch marks in the fields and some smaller ones closer to the house. A rutted lane with small hedges leads to the Boffin estate front door. Before either of you can knock, the door flies open and is immediately clear. Primrose, Sackville is in, or I'm sorry, Primrose Bracegirdle is in no mood to entertain not even her own daughter's friends. Aye, what do you want? Can't you see I have enough problems? She waves to the scorch marks.
Aurora, are we here to help or
Why don't we like do an awareness for maybe like a bucket or like, I don't know, something to help clean with or gather maybe like, oh, yeah, how can we help?
Mhm.
We're not here to take, we're here to help.
I don't
Yeah.
need any help, not today. Well, out with it. Why are you here? What do you want?
Well, we just said that we wanted to help. That's why we're
Yeah, so she doesn't want to help. Should we go check on the daughter or something, maybe? And the friends?
Well, the
Because
daughter was Lobelia, so she's out wandering around. And again, Bilbo's wanting you to
she's
find out
the
what
one who started the fire. All done. Let's go.
Bilbo is wanting you to basically try to secure the fireworks and take them away from whoever has them, just as a reminder.
Okay. So, sorry.
okay. So
Is he
she's
with us?
not willing to listen or accept our help. Then how do we get past that? How do we deal with that? Do we need to persuade her to let us help?
You absolutely can. You can give that a shot.
What do you think, Aurora? You're my teammate, man. We got to figure this out together. I'm just throwing
Oh, yeah,
stuff
no.
out.
I mean, like, if we so, I mean,
Do I have any persuasion?
do we, um,
Ooh, yeah. Let's try and persuade her.
I have 2 dice in persuade. You have 2 dice in
I have
persuade.
3.
Okay. So, I mean, in real life, if I was trying to persuade somebody to actually in this cute little shire, I can only imagine and putting myself into the game because that's what we're doing. Um, I mean, all of us don't want help when things are going awry, and she's probably really, really, really embarrassed. So if there's a thing that I can say, like, I was painting my house a long time ago and I splashed all the paint all over my vegetables and on like just I spilled the paint all over my stones, and if I would never have taken my neighbor's help, I would have never gotten that color and we wouldn't know where my stairs started, my door stopped. So you're gonna need help maybe. So I got my 2 dice, no pip. I got a 1 and a 5.
Did you roll your 12-sided dice as well?
I don't have a persuade die.
That's okay because if you don't have, you still get 1. If you have the little check mark before this persuade, you get 2. So you always get the 1.
I got will,
Oh, you
Lenora.
got the will and you got a 5 and a 1. So you always get to roll that 12-sided dice regardless of no marks anywhere. You always get to roll that. And then if you have a pip, then you get to roll a 6-sided dice. If you have a pip on the other side, that one little checkbox, you get to roll 2 12-sided dice and pick whichever one, the highest one that you want.
Oh, hold on. Sorry. So, one more time. I don't know why I wasn't. I guess I was just. So, with the persuade, we can see. We can see that, right?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So it has.
Yep, you did it right. So you
Yeah.
get to roll those 2, and then you got a 12-sided dice. So your numbers, and what was your target number above persuade up
I
there?
thought I was paying attention in life, other than the 6 dice.
Yeah, what's your wits at? What's your wits TN
Better
number?
than this, ladies. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm fine. All right, so my wits.
It's going to be this one right here, Aurora. The big number.
Oh, gotcha. 13.
13. So you rolled a Gandalf rune,
In real
and
life, I'm not
you
sure.
went well above that number, I believe, with your dice that we saw. So you tell me again. So you were telling her about having some problems painting your house?
Yeah, like you're having a problem today, but I'm gonna have a problem tomorrow. We all have problems with things, so take our help because if I wouldn't have taken my neighbor's help, you would have been walking in my house through my stairs because the paint had gone down the stairs into my vegetables, so I had to eat my neighbor's vegetables a little bit that week because I'd ruined my crop, and my door was not my door had extended way farther than it was supposed to. So, mistakes happen and our lives are messy, but that's why we're here to help you. You have
Be
to
neighborly.
accept our help. We're a community.
I didn't make any mistake. That fool son of mine, Bruno, came down from Hardbottle with his father's attitude and decided to show off with some of the local little kids and shoot off those blasted fireworks. Took the locals and me and him all night to put the fires out. I was so mad, I sent him back home, having only seen him for a day. With those accursed fireworks just a few hours ago. If you want to help me, make sure those things never come around here again.
Perfect. We'd love to collect them from you.
We have to go back to Hardbottle because that's where Bruno is. She said she sent her son back to Hardbottle with his dad. So we have to take a journey to Hardbottle, right?
Seems like
that where Dad is?
Sounds reasonable.
Yes, the father is up in Hardbottle.
I don't know if she understood my story.
Well, she gets a little grumpy and shoos you off the porch. So now you are standing close to lunchtime, still with no breakfast, except for the muffins you might have had as you left Bobo's and some new information.
I had a real life neighbor similar to this.
So I'm having a hard time seeing where we're at on the map, but I'm guessing there's going to be a spot where we can stop and get some food. Are we in a town right now?
You are just south of Whitfurrows.
Whitfurrows.
We're in a forest kind of thing, right?
That's actually really wise to think about that because that can start to cause fatigue if you haven't eaten.
So like Woodhall type area? A woody end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're down
Where's
in
Hardbottle?
Hardbottle's
way north.
Way north.
Underneath where it says Greenfields. Like right in that in between, like the point of the two rivers is where Hardbottle is.
I see.
Okay, so we need to get some food, Aurora. And we need to do it. We missed second breakfast. It's almost lunchtime, and so we're gonna starve.
Can we take any of the party supplies? Is there like something on the table that we can just pocket? Because like all of a sudden I'm a little bit like, that was mean. She didn't get my stuff.
She wasn't very nice.
You can definitely try a scan if you want.
Yeah. Yes. Let's scan it. Where's scan?
I mean, the kids ran off from their mom. There's probably a whole bunch of food ready just for the.
Do you want me to do the scan or do you want to do the scan, Aurora?
Can you help with scan since?
Okay, I can only roll a 12, so I hopefully get a 12.
You probably can tell that I'm just brooding. I'm just like, that was no fun.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll a scan to see if we got food near us. And I got a 3, so we're gonna starve and die.
Oh, great.
So
I can roll and help you. Wait, go ahead.
Oh, you're good.
Do you want to tell her? I have a 2 this time because I have a good scan.
Ooh.
And I have a 3 and a 1, which is promising. Because I bragged about my good scan,
So we're doomed, basically.
I got a 6. Okay. So then is this against my wits? So I have a 6, 3, 10. Oh my gosh, so close. 11. But she hurt my feelings still. So I didn't have as much gumption, but you're right. So it was a fleeting thought to steal from this lady, but I'm still too nice.
You look around in her front yard and you see hedges and shrubs and scorch marks and a road, a pathway leading back out to the main road and a couple of farmhouses and no signs of chickens or tables with food on them of that nature. Your stomach begins to rumble a little.
Steep Hollow is too far for us to go to. That's up the road.
Whitfurrow's not that far away. It's probably maybe a 15-30 minute walk.
Let's go find another tavern and cause some fun mischief.
All right, let's go to Whitfurrow's and find a tavern.
See if you can find Lobelia.
Yeah, Lobelia.
Okay, well, great. So you head out on the road and heading back, double backing from where you already came from, you approach Whitfurrows again. It is past lunch and near the end of their trading day. They end a little early. It being a town where the East Road crosses the others, you cannot help but make a comparison that Whitfurrows is much like the flea market town of Waymeet. However, it is a bit smaller, brisk in movement, and transactions are a bit more to the point, as it is a place where dwarves from the Blue Mountain will stop for a pint for quick trades as they go along their way. The roads have more mud from the travel, and while you can't help feel that it being so close to Buckland and Bree, that it feels a little as though some of those towns influenced this town's character. While there is still some hustle and bustle, it is mostly people packing up for the day.
No, we have to find somewhere to eat.
Oh my gosh.
So
they're packing up for the day, but that doesn't mean that there's not somebody packing up too much. So let's scan again, right?
okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you scan first and we'll see where you get, because I've got one 12-sided die to get 12.
Okay, great. So I have 12 exactly. I need to be 13.
You can spend a hope to roll one more six-sided dice.
I'll spend a hope. Yeah, I'm pretty down in the dumps, and that's so close. Yeah, like I'm probably down in the dumps because we walked all the way this way, and I'm just hungry, like you're saying, like whatever. She's a normal Hobbit woman. We're fine. So one hope. Give me food.
So your one hope, go ahead and roll another six-sided dice and see what you get.
Great. Done deal.
15.
Awesome.
So what do we get?
You look around the town, and as some people are sort of parting, hobbits and a couple of dwarves are parting on the way, your attention is drawn to perhaps an unmarked pub with no sign or name. But you notice a few tables out front with everyone eating and drinking. You see hobbits, some of larger size, and one hobbit talking with a dwarf.
We're freaking going there for sure. What would a courtesy be for? Or good?
Yeah, courtesy can be, believe it's a little bit like persuade, but let me be more specific on that. Yeah, one moment, and I will give you. Courtesy is a longer term cousin to awe in that it can establish friendships, create a good setting for gathering information or getting supplies. A friendly beginning is always a good idea before trying to gather information.
So I think we should approach and use a courtesy.
I have pretty good courtesy. Are you good with courtesy?
Same. Yeah, I've got a pip and 2 6-sided. So I've got 2 12-sided and 2 6-sided that I can roll. So I think even if they're closing up, we can still approach the door and try and courtesy our way into the door.
Definitely.
If that's a word.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to roll.
We're fiercely courtesying.
Okay, so of my 12-sided, I got a 6 and a 2, so I'll take the 6 out of those. Wait, no, a 9. 9? 9. And then I need a 13, by the way. And then for my 2-sided, I got 2 6s with the little T's.
Ooh.
The little things, and I don't know if you can see that. So I got those, and then I got the 9.
All right, so you and your target number was much lower than that.
13.
Yeah, you did great. So you're
Amelia, you're so sweet.
You're getting ready to be all courteous and head up, and you guys are getting your smiles on as you decide to walk into this house tavern kind of bustling area. There's a table to your left with a bunch of hobbits on it, and another table to the right with one hobbit speaking with a dwarf. And as you're walking through, one of the hobbits sits up from the table to the left and says, "Oi, is that you, Bruno?" to the hobbit talking to the dwarf as you're heading up the stairs to go in and see about food.
Thank goodness.
We found him.
Yeah, I mean, like we thought about hard bottle, but he just left 10 minutes ago. Why didn't we think of that?
Would you like to use that successful, amazing courtesy to go inside and talk to the wait staff, or would you like to use that energy and divert over to the table with Bruno and the dwarf?
Let's go talk to one of the NPCs. I'm kidding. Let's not talk to the NPCs.
Right, so we're just wandering behind us like real slow. Like this old man, we don't even know where he is. Thanks for the idea.
Do we want to see if we can talk to Bruno now? I mean, we're hungry though. Like, are we going to be top of our game if we're hungry? You still have a credit. I mean, we could.
I mean, we're not married in the game, so I think that we have a good chance of them being food oriented.
Yeah, we should get some food. We should see if we can.
So we have to we should get our own food with our own money and then go talk to Bruno.
Yeah. I think bottom line, we need to get in and get some food. So we have to like sweet talk them to let us in.
Assess Bruno a little bit too.
Okay.
Right? So no.
Yes.
Like, we'll eat looking at them and trying to figure out what kind of sun this is.
See if we can get a table close to Bruno.
Yes.
Let's do that.
Let's get a table close to Bruno.
See if we can hear what's going on.
Okay, Camelia. Let's get you food. And
I'm getting a little hangry. I don't know if you can tell.
Yeah. All right. So we want to
persuade them to give us a table next to Bruno.
Yeah.
So we can
so one big dice, two little dice.
Well, first, so you're deciding to use your roll, Permelia, to go into the house to persuade them for food. Okay, so.
Well, oh wait, am I helping you persuade? Because you just courtesied us in.
I'm working on it. Matthew has to let us know if my courtesied properly.
I interrupted the courtesy because as you were getting ready to enjoy this amazing courtesy roll, it was interrupted with a decision space of, do you want to now use that courtesy with Bruno and the dwarf, or do you want to use the courtesy for the food inside of the house during the end of the business day?
So we'll use my courtesy to get into the house at the end of the business day and hopefully get a table near Bruno and the dwarf.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. So you go into the house and it looks like there is no line, even though it's bustling. Most people have gotten their food. You go up to the front and the wait staff is there. Is like, we're closing up for the day. Normally, at the end of the day, we do have some extras, and so here you can just have some biscuits and some sausages. But if you want anything else cooked, we're not doing that right now. So they give you a bunch of apples and biscuits and some sausages.
Oh,
cool.
Really, you're amazing.
Okay. So as far as the table, there's only the two tables. And you're inside the house right now. What would you like to do?
Do you want to persuade Bruno to let us sit at our table or at his table?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna head back outside?
What? Oh, he's outside?
Yeah, he's outside at a table.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. So we have all the food and we can just run out. They're okay with it? Okay, good. Yeah.
Okay, so you head back outside and you see that Bruno and the dwarf have gotten up from the table and are kind of walking down the road, heading up north.
So we're just snacking as we go and putting it in our bag.
Screw the table. Yeah. We gotta catch him.
Okay.
Yeah. So we start walking, which I don't think we have to roll to walk, right? Walk, jog.
No. You guys are walking up behind him. So how would you like to approach?
Maybe we should go farther than them for a second, since we don't really know what they're talking about, so that we can listen to what they're saying and then understand if this is a safe idea. Because, and also kind of scan where the fireworks might be in his bag.
You can. Yeah, I would say if you want to, you're doing a scan. You're examining something closely, so you could do a scan if you want to see if you can find any fireworks on him.
Good. 8, 6 with the T, 6 with the T, and a 1.
Oh, dang. Look at you go.
I'm like,
you're doing all the scans because I have 0 anything with my scan.
well, you got all the food, so I'm gonna leave you to courtesy and other things too. Yeah, there's probably things that you can do.
You had a successful scan.
I mean, we have a bag full of food. Thank you so much. And maybe that like little biscuit was. I was like, oh, yum. So, what do we hear him talking about with the dwarf? And does he have the fireworks on?
Yeah, so you scan him and you don't see any packs or any satchels or anything that would be containing fireworks. And the dwarf, you can hear him talking about the Blue Mountains and trade, and Otho seems to be very involved in that. Or I'm sorry, Bruno seems to be very involved in that. And you overhear him say, well, I did find Otho, my friend, and he was already heading up to Hardbottle, so I gave him my errand. I gave him the fireworks to take up there, so I should be free. I know he's going to Scary, which is actually a town, and he's heading up to my father, so I'm free for whatever journey you want. You overhear him say to the dwarf.
So we have to go find Otho.
Okay. Or
do we beat him up and say, "Just kidding, you have them, we know it"? I'm kidding. We don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we could say we were walking instead of mentioning his mom, because like part of me was like, "Ooh, your mom has something to say to you," and then like it'd be kind of funny to say like whatever. But what if we said we heard some fireworks right before we saw you on the path, and we were wondering if we could get any more, like a good cop, undercover copper.
You could try to persuade, I guess.
I mean, I don't want to interrupt them, but like.
So he did hand his errand off to somebody else named Otho.
So he doesn't have the fireworks anymore.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I didn't quite hear that when it came to the Blue Mountains with the dwarfs. I kind of like lost track. But perfect. Then yes.
And Otho is on his way to Scary, which is north of Bridgefield. So
what time is this? This is at night.
You're in late after you're getting into mid-afternoon.
How long does it take to get to Scary?
If you want to, because you're probably, who knows, anywhere from an hour to 3 hours behind Otho. So if you want to try to keep up with him, you're going to be walking through the night. If he also walks through the night.
We're going to have to do it. We need the fireworks. That's what Bilbo wants.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you're enjoying your sausages and apples and breads and biscuits on your walk heading north to Scary. It's a long journey to try to catch up with Otho, heading north off of the East Road into the hills. You start to notice in the distance, it's not quite as farmy. There are some farms, but there's some quarries here and there. Afternoon begins to fade into night pretty rapidly, even though it is summertime, because dark clouds are rolling in. And you eventually start to feel heavy raindrops that quickly turn into a summer downpour, which soaks the landscape, road, and yourselves.
Oh no, we're cold.
While the Shire is normally a cheerful place, the road to Scary is more dour in spirit, and hobbits here can seem more dwarvish than hobbitish. They are a mining folk, large, hardy, and grumpy. There have been tales of miners getting a coughing sickness that has made it through the Shire, and a malady that slowly drains one's spirit in the Scary mines. Some say it is because the head of Golfenbill Goblin still lay in a rabbit hole, souring the country here. Others say it is a growing greed of hobbits that own the mines and are becoming more like dwarves. Whatever the reason, the rumors, the darkness, the increasing muddy road, and rain weigh heavy on the party's spirits. Everyone needs to roll for travel.
Uh-oh. So I have to get 13, and I have a 12-sided dice. This is not going to go well for me.
If you get a ruin.
Come on, Menorah. 5.
You probably don't want to even spend a hope because it won't get you there. So you got a 5. What'd you get?
Well, I'm not
Belba?
gonna leave her. So we go as far as the person who's slowest.
No. You're walking together. The travel is. This is a good refresher too, because it helps me a little bit. A well-seasoned traveler may roll to find shortcuts, know whether or not to trust a stranger approaching. Is it raining? A character with high travel may be able to spot shelter. This is really just you're traveling and
I only have 2 dice for traveling. Sorry to interrupt anyway. So I was like all confident, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pass.
So you have 2. You have 2.
Yeah, 4 and a 2 is my travel, and I need a 12. So
you also get your 12-sided dice. Don't forget that.
Waddling on our big feet. Mm-hmm. What? I have a 12-sided dice.
Oh, you got a 4.
It's a 4.
4 on the 12-sided dice.
We're doomed, Aurora. We're doomed.
Totally.
Both
we need a nap now and more food.
Yeah. So it is night, it is dark, and even though it's summertime, the wind just feels chilly because you're just soaked. You find a small shelter on the side of the road and decide maybe, finding Otho isn't as important as just trying to get comfortable. You go into the shelter and it is just sopping even worse because there's a tree above it that's just downpouring the rain into the shelter. It's just very dilapidated. And so you sadly move on back onto the road to just with wet hobbit feet. Everything is just soaked. You all lose 1 endurance.
Oh, rude. Okay.
Yeah.
So I feel like we keep going, but I want to roll an awareness to see if there's anything else that we can find. If that is something I can do.
You think it is. Absolutely can.
Okay. So with my awareness, I have 2 6 and 1 12. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to do the 12 first, and the 12 is a 2. Oh God. And I need 14, by the way. This is going to be bad. I have a 6 with a T. What is that called? It looks like a T.
Yeah, it's the same. I have to get those words down.
Okay, so I have 11 and the 6 with the T, and then a 2. So that gives me 13, and I need 14.
Yeah, so it's very dark because of the clouds. The rain is also blurring the vision. I would even say the rain that is coming down off of your hair and into your lashes, or even making it hard to look because the water's getting in your eyes and as you're swiping it away. You don't really see much on your journey that evening.
What if I roll hope? It's too late for hope.
Certainly try to roll. Well, I would say, yeah, it's probably too late for hope at this point.
Dang it. Okay.
So, moving along, weary and late into the night, early morning rain begins to let up, and the dawn lightens the sky with dark blues and hints of orange. And about an hour later, with the morning light to see by, you see the village of Scary. The village is unwelcoming by Hobbit standards. There are no nonsense hobbits about, likely heading to work or heading around finishing errands or starting errands. There are no shops to speak of, or at least noticed, but you do smell cooked pork, butter, and onions wafting through a door nearby. There is a small single-story house right on the thoroughfare that looks to be open and of use. There's also hobbits moving about with wheelbarrows, some with rocks in them, some empty.
What do you think, Aurora?
What a scary place. The name matches the place. Like, so no warm. I think we have. I mean that door is open.
We courtesy our way in.
Is there? Let's.
Or do you want to scan?
I guess. Yeah, I want to. Like, I know that there's that's a door that's open, and yeah, we should just go for the door that's open. Right.
Go for the door that's open, and I think we courtesy our way in, and then see if we can get any info on Otho.
Okay, so you probably won't need to do a courtesy yet. You walk up to how the smell gets stronger. You've been walking all night. I mean, I know that in our adventure you just had some snacks from Whitford's, but that was hours ago. That was ages ago. And you can almost eat the smells that you're having of the butter and the onions and the pork. So you peek in the front door. You see the house is an inn of sorts, maybe a bed and breakfast, likely just a house turned into a place of business. There is no bar, but there are 3 tables to sit at in the main room. The main room is empty except for one hobbit at a table with tea and a plate of food that he is ignoring as he is lost in ledgers and accounting books. The other tables, again, are empty. With you walking in, he looks up and notices both of you. You wouldn't happen to be Lobelia Bracegirdle, would you?
Nah, she's off partying.
I have not met her yet, but I am very interested in the Bracegirdle family. Are you friends with her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good friends?
Yeah.
Oh, well, come join me.
Done.
Well, how do you do?
I don't know about this right now, but we don't need to tell them.
What brings you to Scary?
We're looking for a firework dealer.
Oh, well, I don't know about any firework dealers. I believe those are Wizard's province.
Well, are you guys okay with firework shows, or are you guys impartial, or do you guys not prefer them?
They're nasty things. It's nice to see them occasionally. I'll cut to the chase. Why I invited you over here? You know, Lobelia, I do accounting for many of the mines here and a lot of the businesses, but I just can't seem to crack the code with the brace girdles. I'd be obliged if you could put some few good words in with either Lobelia or her father Blanco. Busy man, hard to nail down.
I just want to let you know we're not interested in purchasing any of those nasty things. We also don't find them tasteful at times. And in a town just down the street, they had a incident with the fireworks, and we're looking to stop this mischief. I can put in a word, maybe, if you can leave me, or sorry, keep your eyes open and let us know if you see anybody who might be carrying fireworks, not for our own devices, but to prevent some of this trouble.
Try rolling a riddle.
Okay. Oh gosh.
Can I roll a riddle? Can I roll? Matthew?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Because I've got 3. Okay, so I need to get 12, and I have a 12-sided, and that gave me the menorah. And then my 3, I got a 2, a 1, and a 3. So I got 6 from the 3, and then I got the menorah.
I didn't realize I have 3, and so I got to roll 1. So you got it?
I hope so.
You got yours.
You did.
And then I definitely got mine now. I have a 5 and a 4 is 9 plus 2 and a 2, and I need to get 13. So we both nailed it.
Oh, okay. So fireworks. You seem very fixated on fireworks. I have not seen any. I don't know anything. All I did know about is the accounting here with the mines. Yeah, not much happens around here. I did stay up late last night, for example, talking to somebody who was out of town for a while who may know something about fireworks, a man of named Otho. We had many drinks last night and had many conversations.
Where can we find him?
Can roll for a
Oh
let's
no.
do a courtesy.
Oh yeah. Okay. This will be good. Okay, so I'm doing the 2 12s first, and I have a 4 and a 3. And then my, oh no. 9. Oh, I got 13, and that's what I needed. So I have, yeah, 4 3 3 3. So that's 13. So I got
Excellent.
13.
So you want to know where to find him? Otho, yes, of course. I spoke with him last night over many brews. He came up from the brews came from Oak Barton. Had some good stouts, very good, nice and dark and foamy. He seemed keen about a quarry I told him about in some of our conversations. There was a tunnel that was found a while ago. It's abandoned now. You go in and in and in, and then you hit rock so hard it breaks your pick. I remember when they did find that thing. They ended up hiring dwarves eventually to try to get through that rock months back, but it was too hard to penetrate for them. Eventually, the dwarves gave up or the money ran out. I don't know.
So is that where we find him?
You could
That's where we
try.
find the stash.
Quarry? So he went to Oak Barton, which is northeast.
Can't
But
they had stouts from Oak Barton. They got really
okay.
drunk last night. So yeah, would you like to keep talking to him?
Well, just keep your eye out, and if you hear from us, please round back and leave a note here or something if you hear any more from Otho before us. And then I'll put a good word in with Lobelia's family for you.
So are we going to the quarry then?
There's
Is that
several
where we find
quarries.
him?
Oh,
So we need to find out where he's at. It's
Well,
an
I think
abandoned
that
quarry.
we could, where are we again? Are we in a business that probably knows him? Sorry, no, he's a traveler through town. How many quarries? Should we ask the accountant one more time? Or no, sorry.
You absolutely can.
Okay, so maybe ask him if he could point us in the right direction and define the one that's the one he's talking about with the area.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could try a let's try a
more courtesy.
Yeah, persuade. I think you're trying to persuade him to give more information.
Okay. You want to roll it?
Yeah. Very good. If I fail, which actually I only got a 3, 4, 5, and I need to go higher than 13. So I did not work out.
Okay, I'm going to try that. I got a 6. I got 16, 17, 18, 19, and I needed 12.
Oh,
nice. Okay, so yes, you're trying to find out exactly where the quarry is. It's like, well, there's many quarries, but this is the main one, the Brace Girdles quarry that I've been trying to mine and get into with my accounting. That particular tunnel's been abandoned time and time again. Fools will venture down there. Stories of dwarven treasure behind that rock. People think that there must be something behind there because they don't know what's behind there. And like ants, the foolhardy folks have made different passages all around in that quarry to try to circumvent the mass with no luck. All mad to see what might be in store behind that rock. We had the floods last spring and lost a fellow in there. and they say you can still hear him in the tunnels. They finally boarded it up and placed warnings for anyone entering that they would be punished, fined. Took them long enough.
And that's where we can find Otho?
You could try another persuade or courtesy.
That's super scary. So,
I'll roll a
Bilbo,
courtesy.
what are you thinking?
I'll roll a courtesy and see if we can. Okay, so I got an 11, 15, 23, and I needed 13.
Nice. You're good at the courtesy. So, yes, you're wondering if Otho went there. Well, he did wander off late night, early in the morning. He had some big pack with him, and well, he may have drank both his and my weight last night. Last I remember, he'd taken the pack, a growler of stout, and he was singing in the street how he would be sending Bruno on errands now, and everyone would be respecting him. Not sure where he went off to. Filbert's eyes popped. Right. He may be headed to Mickle Delving. Said something about how now he'd be able to buy the biggest estate. Who knows? He's a drunken fool.
So we have to go to Mickle Delving now. Where the heck is Mickle Delving?
I think we're gonna go. I mean, we just go to the quarry and see, like, get spooked. I think we're gonna
check out the quarry first. See what we can find. See if it's in there.
You're probably a good 5 days away from Mickle Delving, and so he had been hanging out with this accountant Filbert, hearing all about this mine.
So we're going to the mine.
Now he's,
Yeah.
he could have gone to Mickle Delving. Now he's going to go buy a big giant house because he's, I guess, suddenly going to be rich.
So he probably sold the fireworks to someone, maybe at the mine, because there's a bunch of hobbits and hobbits there that act like dwarves. My vote, we go to the quarry.
Me too. So travel again? Do we roll for travel?
You before you leave, a female hobbit woman comes out into the area, and her name is Maeva. She's the owner, and she says, "Well, isn't your little group in disrepair? Can I get you a breakfast or two? Do you need a place to rest for a bit?"
Oh yeah, because we've been going all night.
Super soaked. And
Excellent.
sad. Negative endurance.
So she hooks you up with some food and gives you a bed to rest in, and you guys can get one of your endurances back from your sleep. Chose wisely. Waking from a long day's rest, your group convenes in the main room for early dinner and watches as workers are walking back to their homes from working in the quarry or finishing their errands. As the main road empties, you head out and follow the main road of the north out of the town. You get closer and closer to the dark hills of Skerry. Here, the night air makes you shiver as you carefully try not to stumble on many of the broken rocks littering the path. In time, your eyes adjust, and the outline of the hilltops appear, contrasting against the night sky. On the side of the hills, you make out many tunnels, gaping like bleak mouths leading into infinite darkness. It is a scary prospect to go underground at this hour. With a near full moon and plenty of stars, you quickly find amongst all of the tunnels in the quarry one that is boarded up with warning signs. Approaching it, you find a loose board that had that fool really gone in here. You take a deep breath, finding a few mine lanterns hanging nearby. You light them and head into the darkness.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and take a little pause.
So gross.
All right, so you've moved the piece of wood back, you've grabbed some lanterns, and you're about to go into these the quarry's tunnels that they have. because you are hobbits and it is dark and it is night and this is a little ominous, I'm going to need each of you to roll for Valor. This is a little bit of a new thing. If you look on your sheet, and I might be doing this wrong too, but part of the things of this is just kind of making it up and figuring things out later and just moving forward. But you'll see Valor down there at the bottom with a 1.
Mm-hmm.
And if I understand this correctly, that means that you get to roll a 12-sided dice, and you're checking your heart right now. That's your Valor.
Okay.
So you're trying to beat that TN, and likely you'll need to potentially spend a hope to roll a 6.
So we want a 12-sided dice and then a 1 and then a 6, or just a 12-sided?
Just a 12-sided dice.
I'm going to need to use some hope on this one because I need to hit 13. Oh, gosh. I got a 4, and I'm not even going to bother using a hope because I will not make it anywhere with that.
All right. Would you like to try to test your Valor?
I get just one
12-sided dice. Yeah.
8. And what is supposed to surpass?
Your target number. Your
12.
heart target number. Yeah.
So I could spend a hope.
Actually, no, I think I'm interpreting this incorrectly. So you get to take that 12-sided dice and you get to roll a 6-sided dice. I think that's how it works. I'm sure this is maybe incorrect. So go ahead and roll a 6-sided dice as well and add that to your 12-sided.
Great. Now I got it. So 12, 5, 8, and 5. And what about you, Mackenzie?
So I got a 4 and a 3. So I got 7 and I needed 13.
So Belba is kind of, just really girding herself up and going into there, and Promelia, you're trying your best, but you lose 1 point of hope.
I seem to be very hardy, even though I have opinions about what I'm doing. Apparently, I'm quite able to ride logs and to do things I'm not keen on.
So I lost 1 hope. Is that what you said?
You lost one hope, yeah, because of the Valor check, and you're going into these dark, and you're going into these dark tunnels. I mean, it's feels a little scary. So, because you are heading into the mines, we need to choose one of you to be in the front.
I vote not me, because I am not doing very well.
I guess we'll try. I'm doing okay right now, so
yeah.
So yeah, this is cobwebby. You and I mean, like, what are we whispering to each other? Like, about...
I don't know, but I'm saying, can you wear me like a backpack as we go through the night?
Yes. Okay. No problem. You were on it with the food, and I love you. Come here. Let's cuddle. I'm holding your hand. We're gonna do this. We're doing it. We're gonna make it. It's probably some drunk hobbit anyway. Nobody hurts each other in hobbit stuff. It's just scary. So we're gonna be okay. Okay.
So you're walking through the mine. It's not even mine. This is a very crude tunnel. Both of you have a lantern, and as you're going through the tunnel, Promelia is so close to Belba that Belba, you can even feel the heat of Promelia's lantern on your elbow.
Ow. I said you can.
I'm very scared. Okay.
Don't burn me alive. I might have a witch's valor right now, but.
So you come to a part in the tunnel that you see there are 3 paths, one that kind of veers a little bit left, one that veers a little bit right, and one that goes forward. The one that goes forward dips down a little bit steeper than the other ones. The one to the right is kind of heading up, and the one to the left is about level.
Can we don't want to do a scan because I know that my scan is going to be like a 2 and I need a 12. Part of me is thinking, can we get a lore? Can we figure out the lore of, but we have to have someone to ask about the lore, right? That wouldn't work.
Right, you can do
lore.
You could choose a path and then roll for an explore. And what we want is probably Belba, since she is in the front, to do that explore.
Yes, because
Promelia can't really be exploring because she can't see anything.
My explore is at like 0 right now too.
Scan is better than explore for me.
Belba, this is on you. Do you want to go left, right, or forward?
Ooh, good question. I don't think that the fireworks are forward. I think they would be left or right. To be honest, I feel like if they're in here, then they're probably like close because they had to do the trade for it. And it's already boarded up.
Left is right, right is wrong.
Okay, let's do it. Right.
Gonna go right? Okay,
Even though I like court for both. Left is awesome. But it's okay. So yes, I'll go.
So go ahead and roll for explore.
2. So nothing's there. Can I?
Okay, so you did your explore. Do you only have a 12-sided dice?
Yeah. So
and
I can spend a hope.
You can spend a hope, but you probably still won't pass if all you got was a 2, and you may want to chat with your scared friend who might. What is your explore at?
I'm getting scared. I can't see anything past these cobwebs. Do we have a candle?
My explore is a 12-sided dice, and I need to get 12.
Okay, I need you to see. You must look down there. You must.
I'll try.
I'll hold you.
I'll try.
Okay, so you guys are switching. You're
Yeah, like I'll still walk, but you're just gonna move around my body and look, because maybe you can see something.
Okay, I need you to like blow on the camera for luck because this is all I got, man. This is all I got. Okay. 8. I can use I'm gonna use a hope. I'm gonna use a hope. Yeah. Oh gosh. 5. 12.
Yes.
I need a 13. Or I need a 12 and I got 13.
Okay, so this is what happened because we did have a couple of rolls. Belba rolled first and failed, and what happened was you went down the right tunnel, and as you went down the right tunnel, about 30 minutes of walking down this tunnel of all this rock and dust and everything, you eventually hit a dead end. There's nowhere to go. So you have to double back, and you have that option because you're back at that little crossroads. And this is where you maybe switched a little bit. I'm trying to work the dice rolls out. So then, Promelia, did you want to go down or did you want to go left? Which way did you want to use that explore dice? Okay, so left, you go left, you rolled your explore dice on that, and did you get any 6s? No, but you did pass. And so exploring down the left-sided tunnel, now that you are in the front, you do find a crude kind of station, like a break station, where maybe hobbits would take breaks and have their lunches. It's made of rock and wood, and in it you see a rough map that looks like it's of the quarry tunnels. And so you get to add 1 dice to your explorations, Promelia, because you have this map.
Like I just put a mark on here?
You have a map now, and yeah, you can use a pencil. I have a map, and this is going to give me a +1 6-sided dice to my explorations in these tunnels.
I like it.
All right, so in here, you're kind of in an open room, and you notice there are some tunnels. There's one that's kind of heading obviously back from you came from, but then there's another one that's heading a little bit more kind of up and to the left. There's another one that's directly going left, and then there is one that is going down from where you're standing.
Down.
Okay. And so far you've been walking around in the mines for about 2 hours now, just kind of trying to explore and get around through these things. So you head down this other tunnel.
Wait. No, we need to look at the map and figure out what the heck we're doing.
It gives you it's a lot of tunnels. It just gives you a plus an extra die. So you can go ahead and roll your exploration with
Are you getting more brave because you found this map?
Yeah. We'll see how this roll goes, but yeah.
We're not cuddling too like close together. Still okay.
Don't get too excited because I just got a 6 and I need 12. So I'm failing.
Well, you have your 12-sided dice.
Proud of you, and look what you've already accomplished coming with me to
that
find
was
the
with
map,
the 2.
Oh,
I got a 4 and a 2.
Got a 4 and a 2. So you go down and
okay.
You're heading down this tunnel for about 20-25 minutes, and it also kind of stops at a dead end, and you have to double back, and now you're back in that large room again, and you can head back where you came from, or you can check out that kind of upper left tunnel or the one that's directly to the left.
What do you think, Bilba?
Upper
left.
Let's check everywhere.
Yeah. I agree.
So you're going to go left?
I'm going to do an explore now.
Depends on who's in the front, and I would probably advise, not that I want to influence, but whoever's got the best exploration, because you're exploring right now.
Well, I have the best. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna start with my 12, and I got a 9. Ooh, yeah. And a 1. I got 10, and I need 12.
Do you want to spend a hope?
Yes, I do. Oh my gosh.
My.
Okay. And a 3, so I got 14.
Excellent, and that, I believe, is a pass for you, right?
Yes.
Awesome. So you go down the left tunnel, and as you're going through this, the tunnel just starts narrowing and narrowing and narrowing, and you feel like, oh, we're going to come to another dead end. But you notice there is a thin passageway that goes from the tunnel you're in into another area. And as you both are squeezing through here, you think maybe that you both should have skipped that extra breakfast that Mava was giving you, or the dinner. And while you're able to make it through into this new passageway, it leads to some scraped knees and some torn knuckles and kind of some bruises. So you each lose 1 endurance.
Rude.
In this new passage that you are in, a chill wind, as you're brushing yourselves off and you're kind of trying to orientate where you're at with your lanterns, a chill wind sweeps up from the passage from nowhere, extinguishing your lanterns. Relighting them takes some time. The quiet noises in the distant dark invoke the imagination of dread. Roll for valor.
And that was a 12 and a 1 and a 6, right?
Yep.
Get a 9.
Oh, I got a Sauron eye.
Ooh.
I got 11 and I needed 13.
You both in this with that
here.
chill and that dread and that coldness and feeling almost like you can't escape if you wanted to, begin to lose hope. Each of you
Dang
lose 1
it.
hope.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
You finally are able to use to get your lanterns lit again, and you proceed down curved passages and begin to hear indecipherable laments and echoes across the stone that fade into nothing behind you. There is another split in the tunnel to the right and to the left.
I'll roll for explorer and go to the left.
All right. Let's do your roll.
Good call. I'm totally in agreement with you. You have a nice intuition.
I got the menorah and I got a 2.
Oh, thank goodness.
Ooh, excellent. So you headed to the, what'd you say?
Left.
Left. You guys are doing great with the lefts. So you're heading down the left tunnel, and you after about 40 minutes or so of heading down this tunnel, you come across a piece of cloth, and you see a smear of blood on the wall. You kind of determine that some hobbit must have met their end here.
This is way more dangerous than we thought. Okay, we can go back. We can go home.
Would you like to continue down
I've
this
never seen blood before of a hobbit like this. More scanning? Because this is dangerous. How did he?
If you move forward, it'd be another explorer.
Oh God. I kind of want to move forward, and I know it's scary and unknown, but I kind of want to move forward.
Oh yeah, you're into the Dark Hobbit podcast.
But are we in agreement? Are we gonna go forward?
Go ahead. I want us to get this job done, and I didn't. Well, maybe I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I thought
I don't want to talk about it.
That nobody died down here, and somebody did.
I'm gonna spend a hope. I'm gonna spend a hope because I got 11 and I need 12, so I'm gonna spend a hope.
Excellent.
I got 12.
Excellent. Okay, so you head down this tunnel a little bit further. It starts to curve to the right, and you begin to see a flickering flame, and it's casting jagged shadows at the end of the passage that ends in a pile of tumbled rocks. You hear a mad cry that echoes against the rocks. As you round the corner, you see a lantern on a large stone casting a long shadow over a terrified hobbit standing in front of a massive pile of fireworks piled up at the end of the blocked tunnel. He is feebly brandishing a shovel at what appears to be a gray old orc. Both those screaming madly at the creature, "It's my treasure, you beast! I'll blow it to rubble before you can have it!" Seeing you, he stiffens and stammers, "Ah!" And he tries to hide his panic. The orc turns his attention to you. He is very decrepit veteran, orc, but obviously seasoned. He likely wandered into this tunnel to make his residence. He snarls and jabs his spear in your direction, then grabs a dagger from his belt and flings it at you. Opening volley. We're now going to do combat.
Okay.
So, with the opening volley, we're going to do ranged weapons first. And so how this is going to work is who has the daggers and the bows and the, you have the bow.
Dagger, I got bow. Me.
Excellent. Okay, so what you're going to do is everyone with a ranged weapon gets to do an opening volley, including the enemy player. But the heroes get to go first. So each player and the enemy chooses their target. And so I'm assuming you're choosing the orc, and he is actually going to choose Premilia because you are in the front.
Get behind me.
Yeah. Belba is behind you, so he'll be targeting you, Premilia. And then
I grab her back of her corset and throw her.
So you have a bow, right?
No, Aurora has bows and daggers. I have sword and spear.
Spear him.
I have a short spear, so I can't.
Get a longer spear. Well, this thing now.
So you have with your bow, you should have You get to look down at your combat proficiencies. You get to roll a 12-sided dice no matter what. And then if you have any pips next to bow, those are the 6-sided dice you get to roll.
So Aurora, because she's got the bows? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, but what is the...
I think 14. Or I'm sorry, is it the strength? The strength number?
Yeah, you
athletic? hunting?
Oh no, for what you are doing is you're just, if you're using your bows down in combat proficiencies, you should have some pips next to it.
I have one pip, but it doesn't work like you only get one dice for it.
You get a 12-sided dice, and you get that, 6-sided dice.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so I get one. What about? Sorry, did she get behind me?
Yeah.
Good. And I have a puppy trying to steal a bagel on the table, and that was why I got distracted. So, I got a 10, and that's pretty good. But
what's your TN?
15. It's not good enough. And if I spend a hope because we're in a dire situation, maybe I have a chance, or 2 hopes.
You can only spend 1 hope at a time.
Oh, okay. I'm going to spend a hope. 6.
Excellent.
I am so excited. I've been practicing my bow skills between games, by the way, just in my backyard.
Okay,
I haven't been picking enough flowers anymore.
He's going to do his, which is going to be... Oh.
The bow gets 3 damage.
So he needed to hit that. Okay, so we'll do yours first. You shot at him, and his target would have been 16, and you got 16 exactly. So you're going to do at least 1 hit of damage to him, so his endurance is going to go down a bit.
Great.
And then for you, what is your parry score?
Right, I saw that earlier.
It's under wits. Next to your big number. It's the bottom. It's right here. Or
glasses down here.
It's right here. So under wit. It's right there.
Gotcha. Parry, 17.
Okay, so my TN is that plus that.
I also realized the beeping coming from upstairs is probably the refrigerator door open.
Right. So what happens there is, so he throws the dagger, you shoot your arrow, and you're able to wound, or not wound him, but you hit him, you give him some damage. He's not necessarily flesh wounded, but it hurts. He's bruised up, and his dagger just goes whizzing right by your face, but doesn't quite hit you.
Nice.
So with that, we now move in from the opening volley, and we need to at least have 1 person that is going to be doing front combat, and then the other person can also go in for combat as well, or continue to decide to do range attacks.
I would like to get up in his business and do some front combat with him.
Okay. So you move up to this orc who does have a spear. So he'd had the spear and he threw a dagger, but now he's got this spear that he's wielding. So let's go ahead, and then Aurora, Belba, are you going to be moving in for combat, or are you going to stay back with ranged?
I think the bow's doing really good. 3. So I did legitimately leave the refrigerator door open. I'm so sorry.
Oh, we can pause for just 1 second. Yep, absolutely. Okay, so we have Premilia, who's coming in. hot with the sword, and we have Belba who's standing back with her archery abilities that she's leaning into. So with that, Premilia, you haven't done combat yet, so you've got your sword. And tell me a little bit about what you got going on with your sword abilities.
So I'm a freaking sword master. I've got 3 checks next to my sword. So I should be pretty solid. I do sword aerobics on the weekends with my Hobbit buddies. We do sword aerobics. So I should be good. We'll see. You ready?
Excellent. Yes, and the orc's gonna continue because you're coming out with a sword. He's gonna continue to target you. So both of you go ahead and roll. If
Okay.
Belba, you still remember the dice that you have for your bow.
I got a
And then he's
menorah.
gonna roll.
I got 10 and a menorah.
I got 6 and 7, which my target number with is parry or
And the target number is going to be the one under strength.
got it, 15. So I'm good.
So we're gonna go with let's start with the range, because what was yours again, Premilia? You got a
I got 10 plus a menorah.
Oh wow.
Because
Okay.
she's so good at her sword aerobics, you know. Easy.
I've practiced. Yeah.
Just for the sake of learning a little bit here, there is doing damage, and then there is wounding. Damage brings endurance down, and wounding does some business, right? Like it's a little bit heavier duty. When you can actually wound is when you roll the Gandalf rune, or the enemy rolls the Eye of Sauron.
I got that last.
The other way that you can do a wound is if you have a piercing attack and you roll a 6. So in this case, you both wounded him.
Oh, nice.
Hey, we're good at this.
And
we knew that.
I don't know how much I'm supposed to share from this end, but he rolled a Gandalf. He failed so miserably. So he goes to jam his spear at you, and not only do you cut his spear in half, but you injure his arm, and so he is bleeding from his arm just as a bow hits him into the side of in his clavicle area. He screeches loudly and just runs blazing past you off into the tunnels, and you can hear him screeching and screeching and screeching as he runs off. So
you got so brave. I love it.
Thank you.
So
all the aerobics.
You are left with Otho, who has since grabbed the lantern from the rock and is staring at you wildly and moving towards the fireworks.
Oh, we have to stop him because he wants to sell them.
Yeah. And we need them.
Oh, you're sensing he is trying to set them off. He's got them all stacked up against this blocked rock.
That's what I thought. So he doesn't understand that we killed the guy. So we need to yell, scream, convince, persuade him to stop.
Yeah, we need to persuade him.
Okay, so that's easy. Maybe.
I'm good with persuade, so let's see if I can. I got a 6. I got 10. I got 15, and I needed 12.
Okay. Excellent. 7 and 1 look so alike on this thing. I think we're good. I have a 7, 5, 13, and that's what I need to make. We both yell probably.
Yep.
It's okay. We got him.
So you both yell at Otho to stop what he is doing. That's not how fireworks work as demolition. and he is not hearing you at all. But out of your yelling and trying to get him to stop both of you, he's definitely taken aback a little bit. And one of you eventually blurts out that, these are Gandalf's fireworks and that really you need them back. And he does profess that, possession is 9/10 of the law. And so you can, one of you can try to attempt to persuade again to maybe get those from him.
I'm gonna try. You down? I got 4 dice to play with here. 10, 13, 15, and a 6 with the T. So I got 16 with the little T thing. I got 21.
Excellent. Okay, so he calms down a little bit because he is definitely frenzied and he notices that you got rid of the orcs, and so he strikes a deal with you. He can either blow the mine right now or he can give you half the fireworks and send you on your way.
No deal. We need all of them, don't we? Our mission is to secure the fireworks and bring them back to Bilbo. That's our mission.
But if he blows them up and dies, that's a big deal too. Yeah. So we have, because if they're not demolition, like he's going to hurt us and hurt himself. Well, actually, TNT is a little bit more intense than fireworks. So just his aim is, if he wants to be this kind of, what harm is it doing inside the cave? In mines that he owns or whatever. That's what I'm wondering.
So as you're both huddled by the rock trying to discuss this, he shouts over, I will sweeten the deal. I'm not getting rid of these fireworks, but how about if I pay you for them? I will give you half and I'll pay for half that I'm keeping.
Well, a lot of them got fired off already. How does Bilbo know necessarily how many we can't get all the fireworks back even if we wanted to, because some of them are already gone, right?
But Gandalf will know because they're Gandalf's fireworks, right? He'll know. He's a freaking wizard.
But we would tell him that people got into his stash and we only could salvage this much back. The ring got stolen. Does this guy know where everything is?
We can try, see what happens if we only come back with half.
I feel like at least we don't go empty-handed home. And he is willing to give us.
Or I stab him with my sword.
Huh?
Or I stab him with my sword and take what's mine.
Wow.
But I shouldn't choose violence. That's bad.
Didn't someone sell it to him or something? Or just give them?
They were given to be put into storage by his father, and then he took them down to his well, actually he didn't.
Bruno did.
Bruno took him down to his mother's to show off to some kids. Started a fire, and then he was supposed to take them home, and Bruno, being the person that he is, didn't even finish that errand. He gave them to somebody else, and then that person went up and started hearing stories of these mines that might have treasures in them.
But so he just gave away the fireworks instead of bringing them home?
He just gave them to Otho. He gave them to Otho to take back to his dad's house.
Gotcha. Okay, then yeah, no. So, I can roll for persuade again because
we need all of them.
Yeah, we need all of them. So
because we can't take half the fireworks back and have him still have half of them to cause chaos.
10, 15, I got it. I got to persuade really well. I have a 13 and I got a 16 on my roll. So pretty much it's like these are not yours at all, and you are using them improperly. And so I'm sure if we told your mine camps that you were such a goofy person trying to explode fireworks, and like are you either scared of getting the regular explosives, or are you like why are you so determined to use these inappropriate tools for your job right now? And we want them back because it's not right.
He is persuaded to give you a little over half of the fireworks if you take them and leave now. However, he is starting to wave the lantern around the fireworks again, threatening to just set them off.
Are you trying to kill yourself? They're gonna go spiraling all over the place. At least he's gonna lose all his eyebrow hair. Okay, fine.
And he's still willing to give you a little bit more than half and then pay for the other ones.
Well, that's all we have. And we need to get out of here because we're gonna get hurt. This guy's a lunatic. Right? Is there any other idea? Okay, so
I can courtesy him. No,
No,
that's not going to work with him.
bang him on the head and steal them back from him instead of
Do you want to
stabbing
choose
him.
violence? What do we have to bang him on the head with? Your daggers aren't going to work. My spear isn't going to work because it's short spear. My sword, just saying, I got a sword. I can do some
scan for ropes in the mine?
stabbies.
He reaches into his pocket and starts to pull out a wad of just coins. Like for you, it would be very much like $500-$600 right now.
We could still hit him on the head and take his money. And
Remember, you are hobbits.
oh, I know. I think that then I'm right. The way that this story, like we are going, like we're trying to persuade him, and really he has to.
Do you want me to roll a persuade and see if I can talk him into it?
Yeah. I'm tempted by the not coming home empty-handed and getting out of this cave.
Okay, I got the menorah and 9. So 9 and the menorah.
Okay, so with a persuade.
We might need this money for later in the game.
So he can't help but be persuaded at this point, but then does just beg that he can keep some of them because he has a plan and he will be safe if you'll at least allow him to have some of the fireworks.
3, 4, 2 for each of us, and so we have some pocket change for the next adventure because this has been crazy. Bilbo is just sent 2 young women into the. We just fought an orc. Don't we get a little bit of money?
Yeah, you got Bilbo the Adventurer and the dwarf sipping tea
we get
back
all
at
the
the Hobbit
fireworks.
hole.
I feel like
I'm sorry. I thought that this is right, but when you really calculate it, we saved his life. We get all the fireworks.
And the money.
And we get the money. Like, I got a 13, which is exactly what I needed. So
What were you trying to do?
We saved his life from an orc.
He doesn't see it that way. He was doing just fine, keeping the orc at bay with a shovel in his brain.
Okay, I think we leave him with a couple and we go. We cut our losses. We leave him with like 2.
But how much money do you want to have a shopping spree after this? Because I think at the madam's house.
Okay, so you leave him with a couple of fireworks that you feel comfortable leaving him with.
Little ones, yeah.
And
The teeniest of them.
yeah, and you begin to wander back
We
out
drove
of
that dragon one back.
the mine, and after taking a few wrong turns, you finally find your way out into the cool morning light. On your journey back to the east road from Scary, not much occurs getting back to that road. As you head back to Hobbiton, you feel a sense that a large expanse of the Shire has somehow gotten smaller, easier to put in your pocket. So what I need you to do now is I'm going to do this.
How much money did he give us?
No, hold on. So as you're walking down the east road, it's probably midday at this point, and you know there's different people that go on this road. This is a major thoroughfare, and you see shouldering a mighty wood axe and leading a pack mule, a dwarf. Claims he tried to chop some wood from the old forest on his way here. This is a dwarf that you run into, and he claims he was trying to chop some wood from the old forest on his way here, but the trees made groaning noises and dulled the edge of his axe. And this is just a little story that you hear as you're walking on the East Road, because there's lots of travelers that go here and there, so you hear this tale. And as you continue walking, and you're off in the distance behind you, because you pass like a little family that's heading off to their home as you're trying to get back to Hobbiton, you hear a hobbit child can be heard talking to their parents. No, Mama, it's true. There were heroes that fought a troll and saved Myrtle, and Gandalf was there, and it's all true. The mother looking cross. No more fairy tales. No more fairy stories. Move on now. Let's go home. Upon returning to Bag End, Bilbo stores the firework under lock and key.
It was us. They were talking about us. We did it.
Yay.
And they thought the kid thought probably that the ranger that was there might have been Gandalf or something.
I had a
Or
bow.
kids tell stories. Yeah.
Did we get $200 coins?
You have some Hobbit coins. You've got some money to go to Waymeet and do some shopping.
How much?
Yeah. So that is Bilbo's very happy, and you brought the fireworks back, so he's able to store them in lock and key, and that is most excellent fireworks. The third quest.
Remember, I lost all my vegetables because of that paint thing. I need to go shopping. The Hobbit grocery store.
Yeah, well, what did everybody think?
That was cool.
Yeah.
I feel like we were trying to fight against what you wanted us to do at the very end, and
that is one of the things about being on the rails, because I don't know exactly. You're correct. Now we're out. I don't know why he has to have fireworks with him. Maybe that'll be something that comes up. But when you're on the rails, it's a little harder to improv and just make things up, because they have a story that needs to be told. And it'll be nice when we're not. This is great, but it'll be nice when we're not on the rails, because I'd just be like, oh yeah, he gives you all the fireworks, or he doesn't, and I just work around it.
We're almost there, which is kind of fun. I want to. Yeah, I'm happy that we got together. Thank you for making.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. And yeah, it is funny. Viva La Dirt League, they do a lot of D&D logic, and the DMs, it's pretty freaking funny how like somebody will roll like a perfect thing that just ruins a month's worth of work. And why, like, I think the Shut Up and Sit Down folks, they did a thing on how to do RPGs, and one of them is like, don't, spend a lot of time with an NPC that's got a crazy backstory, because that's the NPC that your entire party is going to want to kill. Just improv and be flexy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is fun. I'm going to go ahead and thank you, and we'll pause.